So the next tool is Krea AI and Topaz. So this is something that I'll show you both because I feel like you can go with either or, right? Like you don't necessarily have to go with both. And also you cannot go with any if you want to, because once you have a ChatGPT and Mid Journey, I think you will be fine. But the reason I really like Krea, one of the main things that Krea has is the enhancer, and I really like its enhancer. I don't know if you have heard about Magnifique AI. It's a little bit like kind of like that. It upscales the image. It does it really good. I feel like it does. You do want to kind of put it back in Photoshop because sometimes it does sharpen it a little bit too much. But for instance, once you upload the image, so for instance, let's say that was my rendering, you upload the image, and here is where you can upscale it to X, max. You can keep the same scale but just enhance it. And you can, the great thing is that you have these moderators where you can maybe kind of just do it, I just want a little bit of strength, I want a lot of resemblance, and you can play with it, and then you can enhance it. And the great thing is that depending on how you play with it, it will really enhance the image, right? In this case, because I put a lot of resemblance, so you see how he sharpened it. It looks a lot sharper now. And you see how he actually created like a few things here. You see how this looks animated, and then suddenly you go down here and now it has a lot more detail. So that's the great thing about the Krea AI enhancer that I like, is it is a very good enhancer. Along with that, you have a lot more tools, right? You have edit tool, so you can kind of do a little bit kind of what you can do in Midjourney, or Photoshop, where you can paint like the in paint, where you can paint something, give it a prompt, and it will revise something. You have the real time. I have not used this one personally, but I think that's probably very interesting. I'm probably gonna like eventually. I think this is pretty cool actually. Look at that. I'm probably gonna use this one later after this. And enhancer that I just taught you guys, you have the video. The great thing about a Krea that I really like is that you are able to think about it like Krea as a broker, where whenever you are using Krea, the great thing about it is like it allows you to use different engines. So for instance, if I have Runway, I can use Runway, but I have heard that Kling is pretty good too, and I've heard that VO2 is very good too. So the great thing about working from Krea is that you are able to choose the engine that you want. Now, depending on which engine you want, you probably need to pay a more premium thing. So you're using the free version or I think I have the standard version. There's some engines here that I cannot use, or that I can use, but very limited, right? Like I cannot use it more than a few times. So you want to make sure that you kind of know kind of what is that, but it's great. The thing is that it allows you to even test a few things. So if you even want to buy something before you buy like the Kling or Runway or whatever, you can come here to Krea and test them from here, and then see which one gives you better results, and then you go from there. So that's a great thing about the video. Images is the same too. You have like here, you have different ones. The great thing here that I got really into it is like I've been always interested in trying Flux, and they have Flux here. Yeah, actually the engine here is Flux. That's how they're rendering and stuff. And then you have Videogram that is very good too. So it has very good engines here. And then here you have a very variety of things you can use. But I really use Krea for the enhancer, and at the same time I use it to kind of sometimes generate images and test. Like sometimes when I'm testing prompts, I actually put it on Krea too. I actually recently created a really cool building based on a prompt that was actually better in Krea that I thought it was in Midjourney. But again, that's why you want to keep testing, because sometimes it will give you different results. So that's pretty much it. I mean, once you kind of have the enhancer, right? Once you have the image enhanced, what's the next step? Then imagine you can create animations. You know how much time if you have been using Twinmotion or Unreal or D5 or Enscape, you know how much time sometimes it takes to do a really good animation. Not just the animation that you just move the camera and that's it. Like actual animation where you actually are kind of going into the building and have people moving and have the sky and the clouds moving. So it's a lot more difficult than it seems. Like it actually does take time to create quality animations. But what if I tell you, if I tell you that with AI now you can generate very good animations, clip animations that then you can actually turn it into a long video with the help of AI. So now for the last step that I want to show you guys is animation. And the reason I really like animations is because it's something that beyond an image you can really impress a client. Because let's be honest, what's what 90% of the people or architecture firms do out there? They have really vanilla renderings coming out of Twinmotion or Lumion, and that's it. And sometimes if they are lucky, they actually did put a little bit of post-production in Photoshop. But with these AI tools, you're already gonna be one step ahead of the competition, right? Because they are actually gonna look that it came out from Archviz Studio as long as you put the time. So before but now if you show them also an animation, you're really gonna impress them, because that's something that you don't get from a lot of architecture firms, right? Like the animations, unless there's something that they're paying extra. But this is like something that is not just for the client, but it could really serve you as a marketing tool to put it in your LinkedIn, to put it in your Instagram. So it really serves as a marketing tool too, that works, in my opinion, better than an image. And it helps you outstand more than an image. So a tool that I recommend, there's many. So if you're on a budget, so ChatGPT has an animation tool called Sora. And the great thing with Sora is that it's super simple to use, because the only thing you really need to do is upload an image. It doesn't allow me to upload it right now, which is interesting. But you will upload an image and it will automatically create the prompt for you. So it's as easy as you uploading the image and then pressing create, and you can create it from 5 to 10 seconds. And then it will create that. And then you can kind of give it different perspectives. You can kind of give it different prompts. You can adjust the prompt so it maybe gives you different things. So it's not bad. I like the results it gives you. With this, I would really recommend you to upscale it in Topaz Video or in an upscaler, because once it gives you the thing, it's gonna give you this. Or if you want to, once you kind of have the thing that you like, then put it in 720p, and that will give you a very good result. But the tool I really recommend, that's if you're in a budget and you really don't want to spend more money in animations. You just want to like, hey, this is as much money as I can invest. Go with the Sora, because that already comes with your Plus membership of ChatGPT. But if you want to get, so this is the most versatile tool out there. But if you want to get the best of the best, as of right now, in my opinion, there's so many out there, but in my opinion right now, it's Kling AI. This is one that is very good as far as resolutions and stuff. So this is the one that I created here right now. One of the things, like, it doesn't really create a prompt for you as of right now. I actually might create a prompt for you, but I am, generally speaking, put the prompt in there. And that's why it's great to use the LLM, because in the LLM, you can actually upload the image, just kind of like what we did at the beginning. You upload the image here and you know, the rendering that you did, and just tell it to act as a filmmaker and to create a 10-second film for you describing the architectural aspects. Once it gives you the prompt, you can copy paste it here along with the image, and then you can start testing, right? Like for instance here, I was kind of going through sky and sunset, but you're gonna see there's a lot of tests. You can kind of get that out in, right? So you can really test a lot of things you can do with these videos. Look, you see that close up? Like imagine how much time will it take me to generate these, what, I created maybe 20 videos right here. Look at that. If I'm gonna use this, I mean, if I'm gonna do this in D5 or Unreal Engine, this would have taken me a whole day, right? These maybe took me an hour, right? And that's not kind of even the rendering part, because these took maybe, each image was like maybe an average of 2 minutes to render when you put all of them together. This is another cool because I gave it like another rendering that had the back, and that's what it did. I gave it the front, and then I gave it a back of the rendering, and it kind of translated to the back of that, which is super cool. But think about this, like once you have 10 to 15 renderings like this, maybe 20, you generate 20 of them. Out of the 20, maybe 10 are good enough for you can use. You can put together in Adobe Premiere or in DaVinci Resolve, you can put together a clip of 30, 45 seconds that are very good quality. And voila, suddenly you have an amazing rendering right here. Oh, actually, I forgot to download that one. But yeah, guys, so this is what definitely is gonna make you out, like, completely like destroy the competition out there, right? Like you went from going through a mid-tier visualizer in the sense of architecture where you could just get basic renderings to now you can create photorealistic renderings. You can stylize this to potentially just have a watercolor mark, like a watercolor or sketch animation instead of photorealistic. And you also now have animation, like full-on animations with people walking, skies, and everything. So there's no really reason for you not to outstand right now, and just know that these are the tools that you really need to use as an architect to really outstand from like stay out of like the mediocrity of just the two like render images that a lot of people just are doing right now. So again, the AI is really just made to enhance everything you do. At the end of the day, you are the one that has to model it. You still have to put the hard work of still doing the research, still coming up with ideas, and that's good, because at the end of the day, you want to give it meaning. You want to make sure that your design or whatever you're showing actually has a sense of not just design, but it's like actual meaning, and a sense of like it actually makes sense. You just didn't go ahead and click on something.